It's a backpack.
It's a little head satchel.
Your arm through this hole?
Yeah.
Right there.
Which one you want me to smoke?
Like this. I'm in.
Nice.
Okay, I'm scared.
On the right here or the left?
All right, I'm gonna smoke them.
The main rule of beekeeping is don't touch the butt.
Don't touch the butt.
Don't touch the butt.
Just like in Nemo, guys. Don't touch the butt.
Don't touch the butt. If you touch the butt, it could be a butt.
Yeah, but I don't know this part.
Right. So, what we have here is we have a Western Super. We have a deep box. These first two boxes are where the queen's at, and then you have a it's called a queen excluder. The queen is just slightly bigger. The foragers can go, house bees can go through with the nectar and put the honey into the honey frames, but the queen can't squeeze that through there. So when I come in to harvest honey, I'm taking this box. I check this one to make sure my queen's in there, that she looks good, and that the hive is continuing to grow, that they have nectar, they have pollen. You don't see any diseases, which in Hawaii you don't see any diseases. And you just make sure the hive is growing. So what Monica's doing is she's smoking the hive. So on the back of the bee, there's a scent gland, and it produces a pheromone to communicate. So in addition to the bees doing their little dance to tell the other bees where they're at, there's also a lot of pheromones going on inside the hive. An insect, its life cycle is egg into a larva, into a cocoon, or basically pupates, and then it hatches into the adult insect, whatever that may be. All insects go through it. So even your larva is producing pheromones telling the nurse bees I'm hungry. Okay, so if you look at this bee, so you can see the stinger that's there. She's trying to get me little pointy things out there. But see when it bends its abdomen there?
Yeah.
Squeeze some out.
Yeah, you see that right on that last layer there. You see when it arches, its gland is being exposed.
Oh.
Okay.
And so that gland is what produces the Nasonov pheromone. So when Monica, when she smoked the hive, what the smoke is doing is it's masking the Nasonov pheromone, because the smoke is so strong and pheromones are so subtle that the smoke just keeps the bees calm. An example of pheromone is that generally most people that have bees don't have horses. The horses produce a pheromone that the bees just don't like. And so if you've been riding a horse during the day and you go out and work your bees, these bees are going to attack you just because of the smell of the horse.
Wait, sorry, could you explain that again? What, the horse and the bees?
The
Like the smell?
pheromones that a horse produces
Oh, wow, okay.
do something to the bees. Another example of pheromones is that, I don't know if any of you wear Axe cologne. Beekeepers don't wear Axe because of the pheromone in it that affects the bees. I mean, the bees just mob you. As soon as you walk into the bee yard, they're just all over you.
You need to be the guy that learned that.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm one of them. So, as I mentioned, the bees are gathering nectar. So this frame of honey, because it's capped, the bees have evaporated it. Go ahead and dig in.
Oh my gosh,
So this is Albizia honey.
Holy smokes.
And you can taste the albizia in it. Little subtle.
It's freaking amazing. She was gonna stick it through
Oh,
there.
I know. Yeah.
Well, could you name some of the notes of that honey? What am I tasting? It just tastes really sweet.
It's got a little bit of a licorice taste towards the end.
Okay.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Delicious.
So the bees, like I said, they've come in the front door. This honey's been regurgitated a few times in and out of other bees, and eventually they put it into a cell, they dehydrate, they cap it. And then I take it.
Hey.
They work for it, I take it. Below
great.
here, there's our queen excluder. We don't use chemicals in our hives, so this is a microfiber towel. This towel traps the small hive beetle that came to Hawaii about 8 years ago, and it'll actually keep the beetles under control without using chemicals.
Okay.
And that's just a Swiffer towel that we're over this. Cool. You have your queen excluder. Again, that keeps your queen out of your honey box. With beekeeping, there's only two things that can happen. You get stung or you don't.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And no more than 20 or 30 times a day.
Right.
Are you serious?
Do you get stung often?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Every
Kinda
day.
used to it, kind of like people can get used to, I mean, anything really, right?
I got stung earlier, so I'm fine. I'm ready.
That was somebody else's bee.
That's why we didn't choose that hive in the back corner.
Oh, yeah, that one's Cujo back there.
Pretty hot.
Cujo.
Yeah.
That's Cujo.
So, bee math is easy. Bee math is basically 3 math. You have 3 types of bees: drones, queens, workers. 3 different life cycles of the worker bee: house bee, nurse bee, house bee, forager. When you're looking at resources in your hive, you need to see brood, pollen, and honey. So you constantly work in the 3s. And as Monica's going through the hive, she's just thinking in 3s. So
Right.
do I see the young bees? Do I see the foragers? Do I see the nurse bees? Do I find my queen or my drones in there? Do I have brood, pollen, and honey? As long as you have the 3s, your hive's doing well. So the brood's kept in the center of the hive, right? It's the warmest part. The bees have to keep this 94 degrees constantly, whether it's 100 outside or whether it's 50 outside. That core temperature in here, if you were to put your hand above you, you'd actually feel heat.
How do they keep it hot?
When it's cool outside, the bees will eat honey. They'll vibrate their wing muscles, which is like us running. It produces heat, and they regulate the temperature that way.
Cool, man. That's rad.
So center of the hive is your brood, your warm area. On the outside of that, you have rings of pollen. And then on the outside of that, you have rings of honey. Now the honey is not only a food source, it's also a heat source. So during the day, say it was 90 degrees out here, this honey, much like oils, it'll absorb this heat during the day, and at night it radiates back out this heat. So the honey can actually help regulate the hive also. So you want to see brood, pollen, honey, again the 3s. So I'm going to be pulling the frame out here. And that's what these are called. Some people call them slats, but they're actually frames. So on this particular frame, what you see here is your honey. You see a lot of pollen, so it looks like we're getting a lot of pollen from these yellow flowers here. Okay. And then we're not seeing a lot of eggs on this frame because it's filled with pollen.
That's what's falling out with the pollen, huh?
Yeah.
I smell it.
So if I were to go further this way, I'm not going to see much brood because there's one on my foot.
Oh no.
Please
Oh,
go
cool.
away.
He's okay, he's just walking.
Please go away. Just hanging out. Looks
I'm
like
gonna
he's
move
like
him before he
twerking on
stings
your.
you.
He's like
Please go away. Get along now.
Step on it.
No.
And then what I have here is, again, honey, pollen. This is capped brood, so we call this leather because of the way it looks. These are the bees that are pupating, and if you see right in here, in these holes that aren't sealed, you actually see the larva of the bee. And then over here, if you were to continue looking, you know, there's probably an egg down in there. It just looks like a small, very small grain of rice. And these are Italian. These are 3-banded Italians.
You want me to move it?
No.
Yeah, if it's on the clothes, it can disappear.
Yeah, come up to your dress. Oh, it's on your leg.
Okay.
There you go.
It was gentle. He's mine.
So don't touch their butts, right?
Don't touch the butt.
He touched the butt.
Everything look good?
How often do you come again to like check on the bees and get the honey?
It really depends upon the year.
Oh, okay.
Most years, if it was normal weather, we'd be coming about every 3 weeks. Usually it's about every 5 to 6.
Okay. And then do you have this on other properties too?
We have 14 different outyards.
Wow.
We just had bees at Robert's place for a while. Yeah, it's actually been quite the adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in another episode we can talk about that.
Oh,
Do you find that in different locations? Sometimes you'll have like different like success rates with the honey based on where
Oh,
you
yeah.
are.
So here we're pulling honey 8-10 weeks. There's actually a lot of bees in this area because of some of the queen producers. So there's a lot more competition. Versus say Kahakai. I'm there every 3 weeks pulling honey.
No doubt.
Yeah. But again, you have so much albizia, you have you have all these different crops that are out there. And then we've only got a quarter mile to the ocean, and then everything else is this direction where Hull is. So
That's a big one.
this is a drone. So you can tell it's a male bee. This one you can touch the butt.
Oh.
It has no stinger.
How could you tell them
So
right
that
away?
one doesn't sting?
Hairy ass,
Okay.
big eyes.
Hairy ass and big eyes. You can touch the butt.
That's
So
me.
that one won't sting you? Ooh, okay, hi.
Don't ask me to prove it to you.
Yeah, got it.
Worry.
Oops, my bad.
Oh, can you take it on me?
Yep, I'm going to.
Again, the same thing. We're looking at the brood, pollen, and the honey.
Oh yeah, could you get one? Oh my god. Kind of like with the background.
And you can see the size difference between the drone and the worker bee.
Thank you. Do you want one?
Maybe in a minute. I'm gonna.
Cool. Awesome.
So there's like, how many are even in this box?
This one
Because
here
it won't sting me.
might have 70,000.
Wow.
Why are they building off in kind of weird shapes and stuff?
Yeah, so these down here were prior queen cells that hatched. And that's just the remnant of what's left over after the new queen hatched.
Thank you for not minding me taking pictures.
And generally, if you're careful and you're not killing bees, you can work your bees without a veil. You know, you might get stung a few times, but you know, sometimes it's a lot nicer not to have to wear a bee veil. You know, pain's optional.
Temporary.
So what were these ones called? Like the one that's on me?
Drone.
That's
A
a drone.
drone. So those ones are in the lower hives down here, but not on the top ones?
They can't fit through the queen excluder.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's my queen. Okay. And so she's just slightly bigger than the drone, but notice her abdomen is pointed.
Right, and the color's a little bit super cool.
Nice. Got some good shots of it right
Run
there.
around being a busy bee.
That's right, being a busy bee.
So do you import bees at all?
Hawaii, you cannot bring bees into Hawaii.
Okay.
That was one of the concerns about when the mites came here to Hawaii back in 2010, and it looked like we might lose the bees on the island. If they were gone, they were gone. They wouldn't bring them back. It's actually an invasive species.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They're all good.
Just suck it up.
Learn to just be so careful.
Just gotta be careful.
That's the whole thing. It's like, don't move fast. You're gonna piss them off. Like dumping them. They're a little. Oh God.
It's okay. The one on me is having a fun time.
Yeah, cute.
My little friend. I don't remember the main character's bee name in the Bee movie.
Oh yeah, Disney got
Jerry
it wrong.
Seinfeld, yeah.
Disney got it wrong.
Yeah, Disney got it wrong. You got Bambi
Aw.
wrong too.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not just supposed to be Jerry.
They do that a lot. They got Pocahontas really wrong too.
Yeah. That's like the worst.
Very.
Yeah, so honeybees are one of the environmental indicator species. Honeybees, reptiles, frogs, things like that. What we do to the environment is going to be seeing the bees and the frogs and all the other indicator species on what we're doing to the environment. So it's one of the advantages of doing bees here in Hawaii is most people that are in Hawaii, they actually care about their community. And so we just don't have the diseases and other issues that other parts of the world have, which is also why that you can ship queens from Hawaii to anywhere in the world just about. Some countries that have limitations based on they may not have the mite, the royal mite that all bees do. But but because of the standards that Hawaii has and the work that the beekeepers are doing, we're just better off here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, beekeeping's actually fun. You're not going to get rich, you're just going to live a rich life.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've always wanted to do it. You guys need a helper.
Well, be careful what you wish for. She showed up one day saying the same thing.
Right, how long ago was that? How long have you been doing it for? Nice. Really loving it?
Love it, love it.
Yeah, cool. Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for letting me have the bees here.
Thanks for
Looking
teaching
forward to
us
more
about it.
honey.
Yeah.
Super informational.
So you said you were harvesting this week. Are you harvesting here or are you?
We've already harvested.
Oh, you already did.
Came last week.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember.
That'll be like
I
8 to
missed
10
that.
weeks.
Yeah, they're typically a little bit more excited during that activity.
You don't want to come out during the day.
No doubt. Okay.
They-
That makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
But you come at night?
No, it comes during the day.
Oh, during the day. I thought you said you don't during the day.
Well, she was saying you don't want to come and kind of be
Be around
observing
during
while
that
they're doing it,
time.
'cause
Oh,
they're
yeah.
agitating the bees.
Yeah.
Thinking a little more.
Taking all their hard work away.
Cool. This is pretty rad itself, just kind of hanging out in a swarm of bees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was gonna have to put on long sleeves and stuff. And... Watch, I'm gonna get stung.